Hello everyone, I want to do some more to this beautiful journal cover that I made before I went off to Budapest. I left it because it needed time for the embellishments to dry, so this is how it's looking. And for anybody that wants to see what I bought whilst I was in Budapest, I'll be doing a show and tell video in the next couple of days, so look out for that. But before I add my signatures, I want to add a piece of this beautiful handmade silk paper. My friend Mel made this for me a few years ago for my birthday. She made me a whole bunch of handmade papers. I'm going to use a couple of others for the signature as well. But I've cut this to size and I'm just going to add a piece of this to make a pocket. I'm not sure whether I'm going to add any stitching because I'm a bit worried that this might stretch and may not take the stitching too well. So I think I'm just going to glue this down. So let's go for it. Let's just add some art glitter glue, and I just need to add it here and all the way around. Isn't that just typical? I start gluing and then my phone decides to ring. So you can see I've just added my glue. Now which way around do I want this to go? This way up, because I want to be able to pick up this pink rose here, and I'm just going to pop this down, and then I'm just going to add some parchment paper and weight this down underneath a heavy book, and then I can trim the excess away. You can see that the glue is bleeding through, but that's fine because that will dry clear. So I'm just going to weight that down with some parchment paper and a couple of heavy books. My pocket's glued down, and although I didn't add any additional stitching, you can still see the stitching because this silk paper is so translucent. So I'm just going to trim around the edges, and I'll keep these pieces because I might be able to use these for something else. This silk paper is just absolutely beautiful. I've been holding on to this for such a long time, just, you know, waiting for the right project to be able to use it. So a nice little pocket there. I've also put a small signature together, and this consists of all handmade paper. I've got a piece of burgundy paper here which is very similar in texture to the navy blue that I used for the outside cover, so that's the first page. I've got this page here with some dried flowers on it. This one here which is handmade paper that's been through an embossing folder. The other piece of this paper here, I had to cut it down because it was too big. This piece of tie-dyed paper, which I thought went really well with the navy blue on the front cover, and then another piece of paper that was made by my friend Mel. So that is my signature, and that's just going to slot there. I'm only adding 6 pages, which of course will give me 24 sides, and I just love how this piece that Mel made has a deckled edge and it sticks out, and I really like the way that that looks. It makes my cover, my journal, look more interesting. So I'm just going to use a basic pamphlet stitch to sew these in. I'm just going to sew my signature in using some embroidery floss. I've chosen a pink that's pretty close to the fabric on the spine. You can see here that I've clipped it together using a couple of bulldog clips, and I've made myself a couple of marks as well. I've got one in the centre and then 2 here, and I'm just going to use a very, very basic pamphlet stitch. Let me just clip this to the cover. Here we go. I'm just going to sew through this. Really, really simple to do. In fact, let me just adjust that. I just want to make sure that my pieces are definitely in the centre. So let's just clip that there and clip it here as well. So let's go in through the centre. Oh gosh, go on. And I'm just going to leave myself a bit of a tail. Pull this through. Here we are. And then I'm just going to go through this side here just to make it easier for me to find where my hole is, so that I can come back out through the other side. let's just, here we are. So you can see my hole there. So let's pull it out and then go in through the other side. There it is. So that should make it easier. Oh, there we are. And then just pull that tight, and then I'm just going to go back out through this hole here, and then back in through the center and tie myself a knot. Some of these handmade papers are quite thick. Let me just make sure. Let's pull this through. Hope you can see what I'm doing here. Just need to pull that out. Make sure I've got that nice and taut, and then, oh, you see here I've managed to wrap it all the way around my clip. Here we go. So I'm just going to come back in through the center. There we are. And then pull that nice and taut, and you can see that I've got one piece of thread to the left, one piece of thread to the right, and I'm just going to tie that in a knot, just pulling one in this direction, one in that direction, so that I don't tear my papers, and then tie it this way round as well. And I'm going to cut that quite short. There we have it. So that is my signature sewn in, and I just love the fact that I can see that beautiful handmade paper just at the very edge. So this is the journal so far, and that's what it looks like on the side. Let me just give you a flip through of the pages. I've taken the fuzzy bits off the top of this silk pocket here, front and back, just because I thought those fuzzy bits would become just a bit annoying. So, you know, I can obviously put something inside these little pockets here. Let me show you the signature as well. Now I'm undecided as to whether I want to round the pages or leave them square as they are. I don't know. I'll have a think about that. But let me just give you a really quick flip through. Love the gold flecks in this blue page here. That's the middle. Absolutely beautiful. And then of course the pages are more plain in the back. These are the back side of the signature. So that's what I've got. Now I'm thinking that I would like to add some kind of charm onto the side of my journal. I've got two that I'm thinking of here. Both would work. I've got this one here and this more bright gold one. This is more of an antique finish. Either would work, and these were both from Love Me Blue, which is the same company that I got the fabric that I used for the outside cover. I'll leave the link to Love Me Blue in the description box below, because Annie is wonderful, a UK based company not far from here, but she just has some amazing things in her shop. Now I'm thinking about using a light bulb pin to hang my charm. These were sent to me from my friend Linda, who painstakingly colour coordinated these onto this piece of felt. So I'm thinking that I can add this to the side of my journal. I'm going to go with this one here. I really like the colour of this one here. Now these beads are plastic, so they're not heavy in any way. And I'm thinking that I can just add this to the side here, and then, you know, if it becomes problematic and annoying, I can always unpin it and take it off. But I don't know, I think that adds a certain charm to my journal. Let's just move that one out of the way. The other thing, by using a light bulb pin as well, I can move it to the top, so if I want to work in my journal, I can just, you know, hang it at the top and it's not going to be in the way. But doesn't that look pretty? How did I have that? I really like how that looks. I've also pulled out a couple of other bits and pieces that I want to add to my journal. I've got this doily which was gifted to me by my friend Eugene. He sent me this wonderful little pocket here with some beautiful papers which will work, funnily enough, absolutely beautifully with this journal. But what I want to do is just attach this to the side of this page here, and this will allow me to tuck things inside both sides of the page. So I am just going to add a tiny amount of glue just down the spine of this doily here, just using my art glitter glue for that. Don't want much, just enough to hold it in place. And I'm just going to pop this onto my page here. Let me just make sure that I've got this centralized. If I need to add a bit more glue, then I always can do. I might need a bit more glue. Let's do this. So just a bit, just on the side of the page here, not too much. And I'll do the same on the other side as well. Let me turn this round this way, just because it's easier for me to glue. Just going to hold that down. So that's a nice little tuck spot there. And whilst I've got this as well, there are a couple of tags that Eugene included. Let me just have a look, because again, these are just absolutely perfect. I may use some of these papers as well, but I'm just going to tuck these in the front and the back. So I'm just going to pop those in there. In fact, actually, I might as well just pop that one in there as well, because I think those are going to be perfect. So I'll decorate those. So we've already got a couple of things now in the pocket of the journal. I've also pulled out this beautiful gold fabric, which again is from one of Annie's boxes. And I'm thinking that I can add this either... In fact, actually, I think I'm going to add it to this page here. I like the fact that it might stick out and just add a bit of an embellishment. I love the way that this paper here sticks out, not as much as I'd hoped, but when I sewed the signatures in, of course, it tucked it in all the more. But let's see if we can attach this. I'm just going to apply some glue. I'll use my Fabri-Tac, I think, Collal glue. So let me just put a fine bead just on three sides, and let's stick this down as well. Try and be as straight about this as I can. I don't want too much glue because I don't want it to bleed through. And for anybody that wants to know, this is a Sugar Bell, Sweet Sugar Bell icing bottle that I've decanted my glue into. So let's see if we can stick that down. How does that look? And I shall trim the top and the bottom off. So let me just weight that down just for that glue to grab. So this will give me a lovely pocket to tuck something into here. I do want to just trim the excess away. And let's see if I can do this without screwing anything up. I've got my fabric scissors here. Let's just trim that off. There we go. That was nice and easy. And I'm just going to do the same on this edge here as well. There we are. And I'll keep these bits because you never know, I might be able to use them for something else. So that's what it looks like on the opposite side. Let's just move that. And that's what it looks like on that side there. And that's what it looks like once the journal is shut. So a really nice embellishment just sticking out of the edge of the journal as well. Isn't that pretty? I love these fibres as well from the beautiful tag that Eugene gave me. Well, I'm leaving the video here for today because I want to go and have a search through my stash and see what I can find to use for some focal images for these gorgeous tags, and to fill the rest of the pages as well. Love how this doily pulls the pages together, and also love this tuck spot at the back. I'm also hoping to use the rest of the papers that Eugene gave me as well, because I think colour-wise and theme-wise these could not be more perfect. But you know, I just want to go off now and see what else I can find in my stash. So I'll be back in a day or two, probably for Sunday's Let's Journal prompt in the Facebook group, the Mixed Media Emporium. But you know, I hope you've enjoyed what I've done so far and it's given you some ideas and inspiration. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, as always, I'd very much appreciate a thumbs up. But most importantly, thanks for watching. Take care everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.